It's great.
Yeah. I am Britta. I live and work in Tallinn in Estonia. I'm a printmaker and drawing artist, but also I do animations, photographing, painting, and sculptural installations. So I think like a printmaker, thinking in layers, adding conceptual and technical layers. I also write in layers, a story through another story through another story. New realities, new ways of seeing and being occur. Conceptually, I work with and depict dystopic urban landscapes. I stage the far future to show the present as a ruin of once optimistic desires. How to shift the look, the sense, and how to relate to contemporary situations. As an artist, for me, the most important question is not why or how, but imagining what if humankind is extinct and nature has reconquered urban landscapes? What if there is possibility of another kind of life on the capitalist ruins? The global pandemic we are having right now shows really clearly that being pessimistic about economic progress is the way of survival. As an artist, I stage fictions about the future, addressing environmental concerns and sensing a dystopic scenery. I also look at the contemporary architecture with nostalgia, with ruinenlust. Looking at urban landscapes, well-known buildings or districts, as if they were really old leftovers from an ancient civilization called human beings, gives me the key to a new way of thinking and imagining. It has been quite simple and straightforward story, because from the beginning already, I was quite sure that I want to be an artist. It's been from the, I don't know, year 3 or something. Though my parents or family, they aren't artists, they are all doctors, and biology is for example one direction. But from there on, I have always been drawing and painting and also making clay objects. So this is something really organic to me. And I continued also after the school. I continued in art academy. So I've studied in graphic department, printmaking. And but also my influences were, I think, my art teachers, as I found them so inspiring. I also decided from my early childhood already that I want to become an art teacher also. So that's that. My artistic practice provides a new possibility or a tool to shift the discourse into other dimensions, like creating or staging an experience and atmosphere in an exhibition space. Messing up the time scale and layering meanings is my conceptual method of wording, combining new and old, using or seeing old with a new look, or looking at the contemporary as something ancient, reflects also in the art media I am working with. Yeah, so as I had the opportunity to work with printmaking and in the smokestack studio, then I quite shortly I had this kind of visual in my head that I want to depict a hole in a land. So I found this image from internet. It's a Yamal hole, a hole in Russia, in Siberia, that is not very, scientists are not very sure how and why it is there. It's some kind of internal gases have made this explosion. But this I think this also talks the story about Earth being alive or being a monster, and it also kind of like invert to the mountainous scape I have been drawing. So we made this 4-layer SMYK separation to make this very like colorful image, and also added the drawn image on it. And also there is a house that hasn't been built yet. It's been very special that I have the opportunity to print here in Smokestack Studio, and I will also print in open space. And I think like sharing the knowledge in different printmaking communities is that's crucially important. Like, for example, this knowledge that I got from here, from working with Lane Groneweg, who is very professional in screen print, but in other prints too. But we made screen print together, and this knowledge I got from him, I will bring it to Estonia, and in the Art Academy of Estonia will get actually, I think, great progress. The hybridization of drawing or print becoming animation or another form has potential for a new ways of thinking, seeing, and writing. Traditional resisting and slow materiality needs a new quick solutions in virtual media, and this is the tool for worlding the new realities. Well, okay, I don't find it. Anyway, I think all the artists work so that they start with the research for the references, for the images, and also for the stories. So for example, here in Canada, I started, of course, reading generally about Canada. Also, it turned out quite quickly that Canada is such a big entity that I need to concentrate not even on Ontario province, but more exactly maybe in this Hamilton space. And I read about geography. I'm really interested in right now in geographical and geological terms and the history of Earth. That's what I'm working right now. But also like the folk stories of how this land was created, and then you become aware of the artists who are working here right now, and also in history, and I think this indigenous art here has interested me greatly, but also like the very easy stories from people who just live here around. Also the local Estonian community is something that I discovered here. And so all the stories, all those people I meet, I think this knowledge is equally important than the texts from the books and from the internet. So this is the research, like every element you depict or what goes behind it. Also, like everything I experience here become like a part of the process. Formally, I'm constantly crossbreeding older crafts and newer techniques and technologies, deconstructing the hierarchies in art, redefining the art fields by hybridizations and extensions. What if drawing or printmaking makes three-dimensional animation experience as an orchestrated community layered on top of each other as a dream? How would a hand-drawn line or printed furrow be seen or touched in the virtual space? A fresh and unknown territory could be discovered when combining traditional, handmade, very tactile material art, such as a pencil or charcoal drawing, or an etching with augmented post-physical media. Depicting also old and new objects, or imagining new as very old reflects in the materials used. Layering and extending media gives a fresh new perspective to the dystopic scenery. Asking the what if question echoes in the extension of drawing. What happens if a drawing becomes animated? Smokestack studio with master Lane Kroneberg. Just like the first print was already so special to me that I just couldn't resist doing another edition with him. And this is highly site-specific image here. It's a devil's punch bowl, and I really like the land mark there, and also the land layers that I noticed there. So I used this photographic image of this fall, but I also manipulated it, and I added actually Estonian building from future. So this house represents an idea of a house or a ghost of a house from the future that is not there yet. So many timelines mixed, and this image is also kind of like a futuristic image. The last was quote by Kenner. The colors are affected by the light, by the haziness, by the clouds. Mythical animals sneak in from the indigenous folk tales. I animate the earth as an uncertain form of becoming, constantly changing the shape, wobbling as a tongue, changing its state, never still, as a clay. Landscape becomes an abstract shape, becomes a creature. About a year ago, in Westfjords, where I began to wonder what really is a land, what is a landscape. Is it just the soil we are walking on? The terra is taken as a fixed entity, as a solid background, nicely folded curtain of that play. Grasping these enchanting layers, veins and wrinkles of the mountainous space, I sensed really intensely there the earth. That earth is moving, shaping, breathing, being. The scenery was so spectacular in Iceland that it made me feel humble and very tiny. I monsterized the shape of a land. I deconstruct its shape and then recreate the forms by drawing. Layering memories as a dream, stain becomes as important mark as an intended line, while touch offers the sensation of tactility on the surface. Stain provides the seepage, leakiness, and bodily presence of the medium itself. I sense the weird being in a film, like floating here, rootless hovering, the chimneys of Hamilton, light as a plastic bag in a wind. I started to look a connecting link in the multi-faced, mosaic-like society where everybody is a visitor really, except those who have lived here before the great colonizing waves. I found the buffalo plaid to be the comfortable uniform, the safe blanket to cover in when you're lost or need to hide, as a warm and cozy womb, a landscape, an ornament that masks the differences. Having also a historical background, the red and black reed is everywhere, on touristic souvenirs and on the people mundane clothes. I also played a little with the shape of cotton factory and the typical brick houses nearby that I found really beautiful. And I was thinking of the holes in the landscape as the inverted shapes of the mountains. Falls around the Hamilton present me almost literally the layering of the earth, and layers of the earth are as the layers of the print. So this directly illustrates the printmaker's way of thinking, wording, and doing to me. Yeah, the escarpment, landscape, the geography, but also the people. I think they also kind of make the place. Also the simplicity, yeah, of the town. I sense it. I really like this industrial vibe here.
Right.
That I think this cotton factory presents like especially nicely. I think it's nice, but it's also, you can't like hide also the problems you see on the sites now, the city, the tent that should be on one side be maybe like a beautiful shape or reminds us some vacations or something, like a nice place, but here you see also like the sadness, the misery that now the tents in the city present. And this reminds me actually one exhibition in art gallery Hamilton that was also recently. I saw Sylvia Nickerson also depicted tent and also wrote about what it present, and also the paradoxical way that it's in a way, one way it's something fun, and the other way it's the sadness of the new homelessness here that you. So I'm thinking like if I would be here longer, I should change my strategy and maybe also work with more like social issues here, as it's really somehow really directly in your face. And in this case, the Sylvia Nickerson exhibition really talked to me, or resonated with me. Also that she used drawing as a media, and told the stories through narration of a comic book. Cotton Factory has hosted me really nicely, really well. I'm super happy. We feel that I have won the lottery of the residencies. So yeah, really, like everything has been super perfect. Yeah, especially the people around here. Yeah, my tower. And I think this kind of reflections or talkings are the best. And this is maybe the most precious thing if I get some kind of feedback that is more like a dialogue. So I think if people visit my webpage or email me after, it would be great to have some kind of bridges built maybe also after this residency.